Hey, what's going on, Herd? Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for tuning in to another video. Today I kind of want to reach out, lend a helping hand to those individuals that are new to drifting, that are just coming into the community. I know there's a lot more than what I just kind of take it for granted. I expect a lot more people to just understand how to drift, let alone all of the other stuff that goes on with what we're releasing. And now, the more and more we're going on, I realize that there's a lot of people that don't even understand what we're doing, let alone think we're fooling them and modding and doing all this other weird stuff, that it's just not the case. So today we're going to take the approach, we're brand new to drifting. We have no drift car. We just have a little bit of money. We're brand new to GTA. Appreciate you coming along, joining us for today's video. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Accumulate a little bit of money. Accumulate right around 200,000. 100,000 can probably get you in a car. Your first thing right after this might be, all right, what car am I buying? And that's incorrect, actually. You shouldn't be thinking like that yet. You need to figure out, which technique am I going to practice? Which technique am I going to pursue first? Am I going to pursue the single gear drifting technique, which is a lot slower but substantially easier, but also a lot less competitive, if not, not competitive at all, really just a practice method? Or, on the other hand, am I just going to go in and practice the higher speed technique, the clutch kicking technique, as we call it in the drift community, and just get something that's a slower clutch kicking vehicle, something that I can learn in? That's your main choice. Now, when I started, all I thought was there was one style of drifting, and there definitely couldn't be any other type. There just wasn't any other type other than pulling a handbrake, and I soon found out that that was incorrect. I taught myself how to drift in a certain way. I assumed. You should never assume. And there's a much more complex method of drifting in this game. And that, of course, is the clutch kicking method. So, of course, I suggest going with that route immediately, but getting a vehicle that is able to also single gear drift, as, something that is well-rounded. And there's only a couple cars that come to mind: the Vagero, the Fusillade, and the Schwarzer. Now, those three are the biggest one that comes to mind. There's maybe a couple more in there somewhere that might. But realistically speaking, why are we not doing single gear drifting? Look behind us, we got Futos all over, so shouldn't I just grab a Futo? They're here, they're free. Yeah, for sure, grab a Futo, throw it in your garage, use it. But the Futo is really a nostalgia car in this game, especially for drifting. It's not really a car for competitive drifting, especially in the sense of what we're going to be doing here. There's only like probably 15, maybe 18 cars that really get down in this game, and the Futo is borderline. It's really borderline. So I suggest going out and getting either the Vagero, the Fusillade, or the Schwarzer. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a task. We're going to get in the same Futo that I already got, so I don't get more cops on me. But the deal is we already got one car spawning in this spawn set that we don't really want. So we're going to go roll around in free mode to free mode and see if we can't get one of the three cars to spawn. Alright, so I've been driving around for quite a while now. I have the other side of the factory on my hands. Now, do I want to waste my time looking for one of these cars? It was $21,000 for a Vagero. I'm just going to scoop on it. I would really suggest getting the Schwarzer here if you want my personal opinion. But you can definitely be successful with any of those other cars that I said. Fusillade, Vagero. I know there's a couple more in that list up too, but I'm kind of drawing a blank on it for right now. So I ordered up a Vagero. It's $21,000. We're going to wait for it to get delivered, and then we're going to bring it over to the old Los Santos Customs. I'm going to show you guys the cheap, affordable drift build. It's going to be pretty much the same across the board for all of those cars that I said. We've made the decision that the clutch kicking technique is the way we want to go. I know it's going to be harder. I know it's going to be a little more frustrating, but a couple weeks of time and we'll slowly get this thing down. And at the end of the couple weeks, we'll definitely know what we're doing and what we're not doing right, and what we can try to get, rocking and rolling. Some of us might have it down in a couple days. It took me a little while, that's why I said. What's the Vagero, Black Sheep? I've never even heard of it. Or the Fusillade, I've never even heard of it. Well, I showed you some pictures of them earlier. These are cars that all kind of handle in the same general sense as the Schwarzer. All right around the same. Now, they're not all exactly the same handling line, don't get me wrong. One's a muscle car, the other two are sports cars. They're just similar. They have that same similar slide to them. If you were going to go in the single gear technique and that's the way you wanted, well, we would have had the Futo there for us. And you can't buy the Futo, so you have to make it spawn. That's kind of a pain in the butt. Just like the AIs that are programmed to speed up in front of you. Alright, we are here. I don't really have anything specific in mind for a build style I want to go with this. That's just going to kind of be off the top of my head, but I'm going to be keeping in mind budget while still hitting all of the notes here. So we're on to the next step, and that's drift build. We got our car, now we need to build the car. So we're repairing the armor. We never do armor on drift builds. Maybe 20% on certain cars, but if you're not positive on which car it is, don't do it at all. Brakes, that's really going to be your cup of tea. I don't really personally like the brakes. Sometimes it helps the emergency brake. Sometimes it doesn't even affect the emergency brake. Emergency brake equals hand brake if you're still that far behind. E-brake, emergency brake, hand brake, all the same thing. The engine, this is going to be your crucial upgrade number one. You need the engine all the way up. And that's pretty much on every drift car. You want that engine all the way up. Exhaust, I am definitely going to put that aftermarket exhaust on. Let's do that. It's cheap and affordable. So this is a muscle car. That's the whole deal with this one. I think this is the closest to a drift style hood there. Lights, horn, I mean, it's drift. We're not going to do anything crazy. We already got lost and theft prevention. If you did pick a car up off the street, definitely you need to buy this. If you don't buy this and your car explodes or blows up or someone else blows it up, you are not going to be able to claim that vehicle. It's gone forever. You need to put a tracker and full coverage on there. I'm sure 99% of you know that one by now. But I can't take anything for granted at this point in time, guys. I need to make a video covering all of the basics. Plate, again, just save ourselves the money. There's no reason. Now, black is always a good color, but let's try to get something a little bit more spiffy. I'm thinking red looks good. Respray, we got the respray action. Roll cage, why not? Spoiler, no, do not do a spoiler, guys. It's going to affect your traction back there, and that's not what you want. It's just not what you want, not in the drifting in GTA. Suspension is going to be a crucial one, little do you think. I usually run street suspension, but sports suspension is going to be right there in the same ball field. Transmission is another one of those crucial ones, and turbo. Now, if you can't afford a turbo, you can't afford a turbo, but it is a very crucial addition. Wheels, muscle are your most slippery wheels. Next in line are SUV, and these are very, very close. I wouldn't even really say one is more slipperier than the other. There is a difference between the two, but it's not like, it doesn't seem to be clearly apparent what the difference is, other than you can tell there's a slight difference. So it's going to be up to you what you really like the look of. I think I get free chrome SUVs, so that's what we're going to run. This is another big mistake, guys. Oh, I already have a Schwarzer, I already have a whatever. Bulletproof tires on it, you're not going to be able to do the stancing portion of what you need to do to drift. If you have bulletproof tires, unfortunately in GTA Online, you cannot take them off. You're going to have to sell that vehicle and rebuild the vehicle without bulletproof tires. Yeah, you can pull off body armor, but you cannot pull off the bulletproof tires. Wheelie bar, absolutely not. Not for drifting anyways. I'm just going to do some light smoke, and that's the build. I didn't see exactly how much we put into it, but I know it wasn't a lot. It was right around the 100,000 mark, 120,000 maybe. So now it runs into the stancing game. Now there is a very fresh video out there that I just released on how to stance vehicles in GTA Online. And it shows you the different variations in 4 or 5 different vehicles on why you would want to stance a vehicle, or how to stance a vehicle, or hey, my car's blowing up, what the heck am I doing wrong? Well, go check this out, see what you're doing wrong. Maybe you're doing something a little bit inaccurate to what you can do, or maybe you're doing something right, but there's a different way that you can do it to get away with not blowing up your car. We're not really going into the how to drift or anything in this. We're getting how to set up for drift. So you got your money, you figured out what style you're going to be learning in, so now that really figured out what style of cars. So if you're fresh to drifting, absolutely do not go out and get a Rapid GT right away and try to drift that. Absolutely do not go out and get a Banshee 900R and try to drift that. If you want my opinion and you want my help, that is not 110% not the way to approach getting into drifting. You need a slower drifting car, a car that's going to be a lot more slower responding, something that's not going to be as twitchy, something that's not going to have you spinning out as often. So then we picked which vehicle. We were limited, we didn't have a ton of vehicles. It was the Schwarzer, the Fusillade, or the Vigero. So we just went scouting, which is going to be our cheapest one. Which one are we going to find on the street first? I didn't find any on the street, so I had to go buy the cheapest one. Fusillade might have been cheaper, but I really prefer the Vigero over the Fusillade. However, the Fusillade is in the sports class. That's going to be a lot more valuable for you. I would probably suggest getting the Fusillade. Again, this is all going to be your preference, though. These are things that you get to keep in choice. It's the beauty of getting into something new. And all of them are cheap, too, so you can just get all kinds of drift cars as you move forward in the future. But you need to learn how to drift first. So you picked your car and you invested the money and you got that build. Now you learned how to stance the car. Everything is good. Everything is golden. But you're a little bit bored. You don't have any tracks. No one there to talk to. No one to ask questions. What do you think of this? How do you think of that? What do you think of this track? Is anybody online to play? Where do I go for that? Well, I definitely suggest, and this isn't a suggestion, this is almost mandatory if you want to really get involved with anything to do with this channel, emra.boards.net. That's emra.boards, B-O-A-R-D-S, .net, N-E-T. That is a forum site. You're going to need to register to view pretty much anything on there, but once you're registered and you're accepted, you're going to have Discord links, you're going to have upcoming events, you're going to have team information from all types of teams on both PS4 and Xbox One, driver's information, team regulations, vehicle regulations for the series on rally and drift, like all types of things. It's very bone stock right now, but it's going to get much more luscious as we move forward. It'll be much more of the tool that it's intended to be instead of the minimum basis of what it has to be. You don't go onto the forum to chat, you go onto the forum for information, but part of the information that you can find on the forum is the Discord chat. That's where you go to chat. And also on the forum it tells you the different chats and how to use the different chats, the do's and don'ts. It's very valuable. emra.boards.net. That's where you're going to really line up with the rest of the community, guys. So then you get linked up on Discord, you learn how to go on the Black Sheep public server and ask when people are going to be online and figure out how to use your console servers and get more specific with people just on your console. That's exactly what we're looking for. Then maybe, hey, you're the person that, hey, you just started drifting a few months ago, but you're getting so good, and you've met people, but you're getting good, and you've met people, and now you're going to be starting a team because you went through the whole regulation. That's what we're looking for in this community. We want to build, not just get a new person in, build a new person up to a great drifter to where they're building the community themselves as well. Building a team is building the community, little do you know. It's a small piece of the community that you guys can pretty much call home. The idea for me is to be able to call the entire drift community home for all of us, though, on both PS4 and Xbox One. PC, I'm sorry, I just don't have a PC, nor do I have the time to do it. Plus, you guys have the modding community, which is endless and expansive. So that's that. Well, where do I get tracks? Well, tracks on Xbox One are a little bit easier to come by on my end than PS4. However, it's going to be very equal as we move forward. That's my whole goal, to launch on this platform, then to be able to launch on PS4, and then to remain both of them equal, and then just figure out what I can and cannot do for time. So I'm really trying to free up the schedule and make it super efficient as I can, so then as we move into the future, we can offer as much as I can. Realistically speaking, there's way more demand than what I, as a single person, will ever be able to offer, as far as I'm concerned at least. But I can do my best to offer everything I can, and I'm definitely willing to do that as we move forward. I enjoy playing this game. This is my favorite game to play, and I'm definitely looking forward to GTA 6 as we move into the upcoming years. Let's show you the difference. I'll go over into this parking lot. Actually, this is right before I learned how to clutch kick. This was the same parking lot I was talking crap about it in because I was so frustrated. So let's single gear drift first. This is about as fast as you're going to drift efficiently with a single gear drift without shifting. And because of that, it's going to be really tough for you to link the really long lines. We're just going to go back. See if we can link this. So it's drifting, it's definitely drifting, but it's very slow. This is like trainer drifting. This is beginner drifting at the fullest. So that's what I'm saying. If you're actually like into wanting to learn how to drift and get it down, just start doing the double clutching technique. Do the clutch kicking technique, the speed boost technique. It's all the same thing. And you're going to be doing this technique that I'm doing. It's completely different. So that's the different tutorial. That's how to drift at high speed. It's got the Schwarzer as the thumbnail. Now, that one left a lot of holes. Like a lot of things that I kind of took for granted. So I need to go back and recover a couple things, fill in those holes, tie up those loose ends, as I say, and it's going to help you guys loads, and it's really going to grow the community more. So we'll be doing that as we get time to do that. It's not going to be super mandatory because there technically is that tutorial there, and there's enough there in that tutorial to definitely grow the community and get people to learn. However, Like I said, it's making it more confusing than it needs to be. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the videos. If you're sharing the videos, if you're not sharing the videos, share the videos, damn it. Alright, that's all I ask. That's all I ask. As always, guys, I hope you all stay happy, stay positive out there. Please stay positive, and we will definitely speak to you next time.